The main thing I want to emphasize is this is a very heavily regulated activity by the state of Ohio. I mean, there's just not people out there willy-nilly doing what they want to. It's regulated heavily by the state of Ohio. It's entirely legal. And assuming the companies follow the proper procedures and obtain the permits, and they follow the established industry practices, it should be entirely safe. And it is beyond comprehension to me how there could be so much controversy about this when it can create a huge economic impact on this county. For instance, if Cunningham Energy is successful in its campaign to partner up with a joint venture company and get its funding like it hopes to, by March 15th, on the acres that our office is leased alone, just on those bonus payments, that will pump over $75 million into Athens County in March. If you think about the ripple effect of that economic development, it's the best thing that happened in this county in over 100 years. And for the life of me, it's beyond belief to think that the people would be so vocally opposed to something that would help so many people. The ray of hope we saw in people's eyes that had 2 and 3 acres and a house trailer out in Waterloo Township, they could lease their land. And they had the prospect of getting, $24.50 net out of that land per acre. It was the greatest hope they'd seen in ages. And then there's larger landowners that benefit. But that's just the beginning. If this product is under the earth as they think it is, and it comes out of the earth, there will be significant royalty payments for many years to come that'll flow through this community, create jobs, good paying jobs. And those dollars will be spent and turned over right here in Athens County. And all you have to do is leave the gates of the university and get out in the rural areas here, and you can see that we have a real poverty problem in this county. I think I read something the other day where it claimed that there was a 30% poverty rate in Athens County, and yet you have a bunch of people that have a regular source of income, say from the university or a state job, that protest and protest and protest everything that comes that creates economic development. They're not thinking about their neighbors outside the city limits that need money, that need employment opportunities, that need economic development. And this is a real opportunity here, a real opportunity. And according to the best practices of the industry, and we just happen to have the state's printout here from this is the state of Ohio's website. This isn't some industry propaganda. This is the state of Ohio's website. And it goes through the facts about hydraulic fracturing. And many of the things I've said are cited here on the state's website. Now there's some naysayers who will say, well, that's they're controlled by the industry. Well, that's state government. And if people have that view of state government, their remedy is to elect different state representatives and different executives in the state. But this process is totally legal. It's totally beneficial to the community. Sure, there's a possibility of error in any construction. Any industry has that. But with this kind of a record, since 1990, 15,000 hydraulically fractured wells have taken place right here in this state since 1990. Not one incident, not one, of any groundwater contamination. I don't know what all the hoopla is about.
Just to kind of hit on how this really is going to benefit average people in the county, and obviously without getting into any names or disclosing anything that is confidential, you just heard over and over signing people with leases how hopeful this was making them. Some people got into details about what they were planning to do once they get their bonus payment. We've wanted to redo our kitchen forever, but it was just one of those things we'd never been able to afford, but now we're going to do it when we get the bonus money. We've wanted to do this or that, put on an addition. We've wanted to pay down debt. You just heard all these different little comments as you're working through the lease papers and signing with people about just how happy people are and how much of an economic benefit it was going to be to so many different people. So that was a real positive thing that really kind of brought home in everyday terms what this big number of 75 million is what the initial bonus would pay out just to these lessors. But that means important small things to lots and lots of people.